This video is for July 9th. I stacked the deck to get Dragon Ace because the last two were Card Ace and Cake Ace, and I didn't want to leave it to chance for something amazing to happen, so Dragon Ace. Like the last ones, I just really love how the Tumblr post by Words with Kitty Witch was written, so I'm going to read it word for word. So beginning now, these are not my words. Dragons are the asexuals who got really annoyed when they found out what Netflix and chill meant. I relate to that very much. Okay, those were my words. Back to Kitty Witch's words. Because they were ready with blankets and popcorn. If cakes dress fancy and cards dress sharply, then a dragon dresses for comfort. They often don't care about their clothing at all, and if they do, it's ironically, or simply flying in the face of what many would consider stylish, i.e., look at my ridiculous hat, isn't it the best? Especially if said ridiculous hat is worn with the most lived-in jeans and a sweatshirt. Dragons are likely to start listing off all their interests and joke that they simply don't have the time to be interested in sex as well. They might do this for hours into lying. They might do this 4 hours into lying on their stomach watching Netflix, but those 4 hours of Netflix were well spent. Often dragons can be perceived as, or wonder themselves if they are too attached to their possessions, but this is because they have decided to fill their lives with that which makes them happy, regardless of how that appears. If a dragon wants to sleep with 30 stuffed animals because they've been given a new one for every birthday, they aren't going to let being 30 get in the way of cuddling their stuffed animals. Dragons may feed into the stereotype that asexuals are childish or hyper-focused on frivolous pursuits, but they can be wonderful friends because they're fun to be around, and they are just as likely to hoard a person as an item. If a dragon decides you're one of their favorite people, they can be the most ride-or-die friend you have. If they've fully accepted that their life is fulfilled from interests they've chosen themselves, dragons can be some of the happiest people you've ever met. Of course, some people may say that they're also some of the strangest people you've ever met, but no one consciously picks normal over happy. People with a poor understanding of asexuality might say dragons never properly grew up, but this is less a problem with the dragons and more a problem with how society expects adults to be boring and miserable. So true! Fictional examples of dragons: Charlie Weasley, Jughead Jones, the 11th Doctor. Okay, so that was What Are Cake Aces? And for the 3 AM Epiphany by Brian Kitely, I rolled a 2, which always feels not statistically possible, but definitely is possible to roll a 2, even when you could roll anywhere from 1 to 200. So, imperative. You want to write a fragment of a story that's only imperative commands. Do this, do that. Run away. Don't be a child. So it's a bit like second person narration where the you is implied. And so when I first got Dragon Ace and Imperative, I thought, oh, this is going to be like the Dragon Ace talking to themselves about what they ought to be doing, how they ought to be perceived, i.e. don't be childish. So that was my initial idea, and then for the Rory Story Cubes, we've run out of the standard deck of 9 because I started the day before July, so now that it's the 9th, we've already done the standard 9. So now I have the Fantasy Fairy Tale deck, and I rolled a cage. Oh, and then because I loved the last times where I started doing the Emotion Thesaurus by Angela Ackerman and Becca Puglisi, I did it again, and this time I got Peacefulness. So you might get like sparkling eyes, weightless gaze, relaxed posture, languid movements, satisfied sigh, loose limbs, drowsiness, being with others with no need to fill the silence. That's never happened to me. A feeling of connection to life. Yeah, that's the one I'll go with, a feeling of connection to life. And I'm really glad that I rolled peacefulness, because I'm kind of imagining this as a very angsty exercise where the dragon ace, oh, is feeling caged. That's how we can use the Rory story cube. Caged by society's expectations to be a mature adult and not be childish. But I'm going to have it end with this sense of peacefulness, of kind of feeling like, okay, yeah, I'm just going to read the childish book because I like it. And it's okay to like things that society's going to judge. And yeah, okay, that's my plan. Of course, your plan for the prompt can be very different. Bye.